I'm here in Brussels, Belgium, at Brussels International Airport. Now, if you want to get a flight down to South Africa from in Europe, there's loads of great options. You can go direct with South African Airlines, BA, Lufthansa even have direct flights down there as well. You're just spoiled with choice for direct flights down to South Africa, but of course I'm not going to do it the easy way. I'm going to be taking the long way down to Johannesburg, stopping in Kigali, Rwanda, and Lusaka in Zambia with Rwandair, who are a small Rwandan airline who operate a couple of A330s on their long-haul flights to here in Europe, as well as some other destinations. So let's go and head inside and see what Rwandair have to offer on tonight's flight to South Africa via Rwanda and Zambia. Let's go.
Before we go any further, I just want to say a big thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. More about Surfshark and their excellent privacy services later in the video. Once inside the terminal, it soon became clear that this trip wouldn't be getting off to a great start.
So not even checked in yet for the flight, and already we have a few issues. Their flight tonight is delayed. The inbound flight from Kigali still hasn't landed here. It's still got to go to London and back yet before it picks me up, and it's not going to be getting here until 4 hours after it was scheduled to arrive. So fingers crossed we may make it. My issue is, of course, I have that connection down in Kigali after 3 hours. Kigali, not particularly the sort of place I want to be sorting out connections to. So let's see.
Yeah, 1 hour.
1 hour from when we got from the delayed time?
Yeah, delay included.
Okay, right, okay. Will that be enough?
1
or?
hour, let's say, if you know, not the
Yeah.
package,
So I have boarding pass in hand. They said that even with the delay, there is still an hour between our arrival and departure, which apparently is more than enough time. I admire his faith, and I will put my faith in Mr. Checking Guy and hope that an hour is enough time to connect in Kigali.
I headed off to the lounge that Rwandair use in Brussels, the Diamond Lounge.
Right, there goes the plane back to Gatwick. So it's now 8:10. We're due to be leaving in 2 hours from here now, originally, which actually could work out with us not being too delayed after all. Right, so I've just had notification we've got another hour delay to our flight now. We're now delayed until 1 AM. Chances of making this connection are looking slim. The plane has just left Gatwick. It's on its way over here to Brussels now to pick me up and take me down to Kigali. As it stands, we're about 2 hours 40 minutes late, which leaves me 20 minutes to make my connection in Kigali down to Johannesburg. What our connection is like in Kigali, I have no idea. I'll find out, but I really don't think that's optimistic at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention for a delay message? Rwandair flight 701 to Kigali will be delayed until 0:50 due to the weather conditions.
Finally, there was some movement out on the ramp, and my ride to Kigali pulled into view. It's the sole A330-300 in Rwandair's fleet, delivered to them brand new 3 years ago.
Merci, au revoir.
In addition to the A330-300, they operate an A330-200 and even have an A330neo on order.
Thank you.
I boarded into a dark cabin. The aircraft had arrived in from Gatwick and many of the passengers were still resting.
So on board the Rwandair A330, and first impressions are, wow, this thing is incredible. Look at the seat. Full lie flat bed in a little suite at the side of the cabin. The seat controls are incredible. Look at this. You've got a massage function, you've got a mood lighting. Press that. You get little mood lights come on there. This thing's amazing.
While the cargo was loaded, amenity kits were handed out. Everyone seemed to get a completely different style, presumably from different variations. I got one of the nicer ones, which had the usual eye mask, toiletries, a brush and toothbrush. The crew handed out a glass of orange juice while we waited for the last passengers to board.
So we're now 3.5 hours late. We've been sat on the plane for about an hour now here on the ramp still at Brussels. We had to wait for 2 passengers who were late. So we waited for them, now we've missed our slot, so now we've got another half an hour wait. So at some point tonight I think we'll be taking off, but no idea when.
Finally we started to move and our engines powered up for our flight to the heart of Africa.
So we're just lining up on the runway and there's been no safety briefing, no safety demo at all.
This evening took us across Germany and down over the Balkans to cross the Mediterranean. We entered Africa crossing Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan and Uganda before descending into the tiny country of Rwanda. Flight time tonight was 7 hours 59 minutes at a cruising altitude of 35 and 37,000 feet.
Finally airborne from Brussels, and I have to say my biggest concern so far, aside from the massive delay that we've had, is the fact that there was no safety demo whatsoever. Not a manual one or even a video one for that matter, and I don't really understand why. We were on the ground, we boarded and we sat for about an hour before we pushed back from the gate, and then we had quite a lengthy taxi to the runway, and at no point was any sort of safety demo performed by the crew or on the video. So here's a little tip for you. When you're flying on an airline that doesn't give you a mattress topper, which is actually most airlines in business class, you don't get a mattress topper. If you don't want to just lay on the hard seat, ask the cabin crew for an extra blanket, then you fold it lengthways and just lay it down on the seat, and it makes a really comfy mattress topper on top of your seat.
Tonight's service started with a dinner service. I opted for the scampi to start and the chicken curry for the main course, which was spicy but delicious. The food tasted lovely, but the presentation wasn't the best. It was very filling though and very tasty. After dinner, I put my bed down to try and get some sleep.
Right, so I've had my dinner. It's now time to get my head down and try and get some sleep. The bed is actually really comfy. Plenty of room for me to lay down straight, which is always a bonus. So I'm going to get the lights turned off and get some sleep now. So, good night. So we've got about another hour and a half until we land down in Kigali. We're currently overhead South Sudan at 35,000 feet. Quite a good night's sleep actually. The bed is really comfortable, plenty of room. Leg room is just incredible. Again, I can lay flat out on this bed. It's really nice and private as well. It surprised me very much, the seat actually, I have to say. I wasn't expecting anything as good as this. According to the flight map, we're going to be touching down about exactly the same time as my next flight's due to leave. I'm trying to think how else I can get to Joburg from Kigali if I miss that connection. No point worrying about that until we actually get down there on the ground.
Breakfast was a little, let's just say, lacking on this flight, with just a small bowl of fruit. There's Wi-Fi on both of Rwandair's A330s. You get 15 minutes for free, or you can pay up to $30 for the entire flight. On the subject of Wi-Fi, thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Surfshark's a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable. Surfshark encrypts all your internet traffic sent to and from your devices and makes sure that your IP address remains hidden to make sure nobody can see what you do online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malware and phishing attempts, and unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you'd like at the same time. Surfshark helps you when you're travelling in 3 ways. It saves mobile roaming data and ensures faster browsing by blocking ads. It protects you from data thieves who seek for your passwords, credit cards, information, or while using public Wi-Fi. It also lets you access your favourite content online just as if you've never left home, for instance Netflix, BBC iPlayer and many more. Even when you're at home, it lets you access entertainment from around the world. For instance, you can watch shows that are on the US version of Netflix but not on the UK version. Of course, it's also great for protecting your identity online. Surfshark has a hack lock system which sends you alerts anytime your email address or password is being compromised. Click on the link in the description or go to surfshark.deals/NoelPhillips and use my promo code NoelPhillips to sign up for 83% off and 1 extra month for free.
The captain's actually just come on and said that they are actually holding my next flight, the Johannesburg and Lusaka flight. They're actually holding that for us, which is really good, really impressed by that. So we are requested to get to that plane as soon as possible because they are waiting for us to get on board. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't miss it.
The captain's announcement had cheered me up a lot and made me a lot more confident of making my connection. It seemed that Rwandair operates a very much no man left behind system, which I imagine is frustrating for the waiting passengers but very handy for the affected passengers. We soon started our descent over the beautiful scenery of Rwanda. I was amazed just how beautiful this country looks from above and would love to return to visit properly. Rwandair was formed in 2002 after the country's former airline, Air Rwanda, ceased operation. It's 99% owned by the Rwandan government. We were soon on approach to Rwanda's capital city, Kigali. We nearly missed our taxiway at Kigali and made the turn towards the tiny terminal building at Rwanda's largest airport.
The aircraft has come to a complete stop, and when seatbelt signs have been switched off.
There are plans to build a new airport away from the city, but in a common theme for airport development it seems, it's running some way behind schedule and has had to be redesigned to bring it up to international standards. There are no jetways at Kigali, and with no bus either, I had the amazing opportunity to walk across the entire apron to the terminal building. This is great for an aviation geek like myself, but I imagine in the African rains it could be an unpleasant walk. Once inside the terminal, it was a quick dash to the gate for my connecting flight to Johannesburg.
Hi, Johannesburg.
Johannesburg first. Yes.
Thank you. Hi, Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. Yeah, just go through here.
Yes, thank you.
Where to?
Thank you.
Entebbe. Okay.
Thank you.
Entebbe mukore baba agent.
Straight to the gate. Thank you. Hello.
This is the last boarding call for
Hello, Johannesburg. Thank you. That was close. You hold the flight for us?
Yeah, we hold the flights
Very
for
good.
you.
Thank you.
Monsieur?
Merci. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was led out to a bus for my next flight as the passengers from my inbound flight were still walking across the apron. The bus had to be one of the most elaborate airport buses I'd ever seen. I rolled across the apron in my armchair before walking the last bit onto Rwandair's other A330 and A330 200.
Bonjour. Merci. Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Thank you for waiting. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, thank you. Good morning.
The business class cabin on the A330-200 is identical to the A330-300, just with a few less rows.
Right, made it. And relax.
Pretty soon, all 4 of the passengers from Brussels are on board, and we push back for the next hop on my African adventure. This time there was a safety briefing, and it turned out to be pretty cute.
This is a non-smoking flight. It is reduced visibility. The luminescent floor markings will be. Laptops and notebooks can also be used, but must be stowed away for takeoff. And where you are seated, you should either cross your arms against the seat back in front of you.
We had a pretty short taxi and backtrack out to the runway at Kigali. Johannesburg flight stops at Lusaka in Zambia on the way. Our route to Lusaka today took us south out of Kigali to cross eastern Congo into Zambia. Flight time today was 2 hours and 1 minute, cruising at 40,000 feet.
So airborne from Kigali on the Rwandair A330 200 this time.
Breakfast today was a fruit starter followed by sausage, scrambled egg and fried matoki, a type of East African banana. Rwandair's magazine is called Inzozi. Their route network is pretty extensive across Central Africa, with some long-haul routes to Brussels, London, Dubai, Mumbai and Guangzhou. When they take delivery of their A330 Neo, they plan to serve New York as well, with a stopover in Accra, Ghana. The magazine has some interesting parts, for instance a section on what it's like to fly on a plane, and this crossword which seems to have a pretty clear theme. We soon started our descent over the next country on my trip, Zambia. Zambia is a lot drier and looks a lot dustier from above than Rwanda. It was pretty bumpy on approach to Lusaka too, as we came in over the outskirts of the city. Touched down into Lusaka and taxied into this small terminal. Lusaka Airport is having a brand new terminal built by a Chinese company which is due to open by the end of 2019. For now though, we headed to the older terminal which was first opened in 1967.
Thank you and goodbye.
On the ground then here in Lusaka, Zambia. Pretty cool really. So that's Rwanda and Zambia on this trip so far, and next leg is down to Joburg. This next flight actually is quite special to me because the next leg is my 500th ever flight, so quite a special one coming up, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Pretty soon we'd picked up a few more passengers and fired up the engines for the last leg, the short hop down to Joburg. A short taxi to the runway and we were on our way. The last leg of my journey to Johannesburg took us directly south from Lusaka, crossing Zimbabwe and into South Africa. Flight time was 1 hour and 39 minutes, cruising at 40,000 feet. There isn't a great choice on the in-flight entertainment, just a few TV shows and movies.
The last leg down to Joburg, I have to say, after a bit of a bumpy start back in Brussels, I'm actually really impressed with Rwandair so far. They've been absolutely amazing. The service has been great, the seat's amazing, and I've just loved my flight. It's so cool actually seeing a little bit, if only the airports of these little cities that you'd usually fly over in the middle of Africa, and actually seeing them up close. It's really cool.
And you know what? Journeys like this are why I love flying so much. Sure, I might not have seen much of any of the countries I flew into, but to get a taste of life in these places on board an airline from the heart of Africa, on what would otherwise be spent 7 miles above on a British Airways plane, is what flying's all about. Rwandair impressed me so much. The seat was incredible, their service fantastic, and their attitude to disruption of simply making sure everyone got where they needed to be going was a breath of fresh air. Sure, the meals weren't great and we did have that delay and the missed safety announcement, but when you get to fly through places like Rwanda and Zambia for a fraction of the price of the major airlines, you can't really go wrong with a little trip on Rwandair. My flight today cost me just over £1,000 for a one-way ticket, or just under $1,300 US, giving a cost per mile of just 18 pence.
Thank you very much. Thank you, bye. Here then at Johannesburg OR Tambo International Airport after a great set of flights down with Rwandair. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, please drop me a like, or if you're not subscribed already, I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. In the meantime, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time here on In Flight Video.